Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Podcast. Thoughts, analysis, and information to help you succeed in your fantasy football leagues. I am your host, Chad Lyon, and joining me is Tyler Bevel.
Hey.
And our producer, Mitchell Bird.
Hello.
This is our Week 12, 4 o'clock Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football game slate preview. How's Tyler?
Pretty good.
Sure?
Yeah.
Rough night last night. That was tough, man. I didn't see that coming. Really didn't.
It's because of the weather.
That's it.
That's what Pickens said.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. He's like, I really think the weather bailed him out because the Browns, I don't think the Cleveland Browns are a good team. This is after they just lost to the Cleveland Browns. He's like,
oh, man. He was fighting the dude in the end zone.
Yeah, Greg Newsome just like, oh, you guys go try to catch the pass. I'm going to punch this guy back here.
That's basically
We'll pull him right out of the whole equation.
Yeah.
He'll bite, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Jameis cracks me up, man, that dude.
You should have known it was a bad game when Jameis comes out and he's like, I'm just so glad the Lord blessed me to play in the snow. And it's like, oh, he's just happy to be here. This is going to be terrible.
He couldn't wait to go home. He was going to go eat some snow.
Yep.
He genuinely looked like really, really excited too.
He did,
Like
he
he's
did.
just looking around at the snow, like so happy.
Yeah, he's a national treasure. That
He
dude.
is.
He's something else. We do have a good top three today.
All
That
right.
makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
We're getting close to my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Give me your top three Thanksgiving side dishes.
Deviled eggs are number one. That's not even really.
They're amazing.
It's not even that close.
I love them.
Ooh.
I'll eat so many of those.
Oh, I can just smell like them platters that they come on. I can just clear half of that thing.
Yeah, easy.
I'm gonna go this way, like with mashed potatoes, because I just don't think it would be like Thanksgiving without mashed potatoes on there.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be basic, but
You're just gonna say my list, basically.
yeah, I'm gonna go sweet potatoes.
Yeah, not a huge fan,
I like them.
but I mean,
With the marshmallows roasted on top.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
Thanksgiving special.
It's like the only time I ever have that. It's
That
like
made you
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, like there's no other time to eat that.
There is. I mean, it's just we don't.
Yeah, that's true. We don't.
That's true. It's
Yeah,
totally
like,
all
it's
year round
fine.
side.
Like, you can have it like whenever.
That's probably one of my least favorites.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like I want like straight up savory on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, fair
Just
enough.
the
Fair
one-
enough.
I don't know.
I like them though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're all right. My wife likes them.
I like them.
How about you, Mitchell?
Well, that was going to be my honorable mention, so I can start out with that. But number one is going to be actual stuffing, like stuffed stuffing, not stovetop. That's my go-to side with, I don't know if you ever had it, but there's like a broccoli and cheese casserole, like a Ritz crackers on
Yeah,
top.
my
and
mom makes it.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's some good stuff. So that's two. And I'm going to kind of, I don't know if you call it a cheat. I eat it with my food, so it's a side. It's not my dessert, but monkey bread.
Oh, monkey bread's good stuff.
Yeah, dude. So those are my three.
Yeah, that's good stuff. You ever had monkey bread, Ty?
Yeah, my grandma makes monkey bread. We don't have it for Thanksgiving though.
That's a good add on Thanksgiving.
It
It's
is.
good,
It is.
man.
It goes. Seems like it would go well with it.
My
Mhm.
wife always makes a Boston cream pie.
I like
Oh.
both kinds of stuffing, but I'm weird. I like the box stuffing better.
Oh,
In
man.
certain situations, I can agree with you, but I don't know. My mom always says you got to get Pepperidge Farms stuffing and use that. And I tell you what, it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Big
She
fan.
uses Jimmy Dean hot sausage with it too, so that spices it up. a little
Yeah.
bit.
Gotcha.
Hey, you guys are killing me. Well, this one wasn't said. So my number one is got to have mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
There's just no way around
It's
it.
not Thanksgiving dinner without mashed potatoes.
No. Number two is stuffing. But I like the sausage.
There you go.
Deviled eggs would be three.
Great.
Get
well,
real.
No, come on, man. No, they're three for me. And I actually struggled between that and mac and cheese. 'Cause I gotta have mac and cheese too. Like it's
We don't have mac and cheese at Thanksgiving.
Oh, we do
Same.
every year.
I don't
Yeah.
normally know.
And
but-
like also that was tough for me. Like mashed potato stuffing, deviled eggs. If it was a top five, absolutely mac and cheese. And I almost replaced the deviled eggs and the broccoli and cheddar casserole.
Oh.
Mom makes that stuff is awesome. There's none left.
We have green bean casserole, which sounds really similar
it's
to what
good.
you guys are saying.
Yep.
No, it's quite different.
the texture is different.
It's just pretty much like a layer in a pan, like a baking dish of just chopped broccoli.
Mhm.
And then you mix it with like Velveeta or
Yep.
whatever kind of cheddar, anything.
Oh, I've had
anything
that.
you want.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
You top it with like Ritz cracker crumbs,
Yeah.
and then just bake it.
Bake
It's
it
very
till
simple.
A little crusty on
The
top.
green bean casserole that my grandmother usually makes, so it has like a crumb.
Oh yeah.
Chop like that,
the little onion, the crispy onion things.
Yeah,
they usually put in there. Yeah, I love that stuff's great
for sure.
And to spice up that broccoli and cheese casserole, throw in some chopped bacon.
Hey, okay,
it's so good.
I can see that. I don't know if I do that on Thanksgiving Day, but I do that at a different time of the year.
Yeah. Oh, and douse my entire plate gravy. the potatoes, the turkey, and the stuffing is getting hammered with gravy. All of it. Oh, I have to ask this too: turkey or ham on Thanksgiving?
Turkey.
Gobble gobble.
Yes. All right.
My family makes both on, because more people are there at Christmas, and my family makes a turkey and a ham on Christmas, but on Thanksgiving, it's always turkey.
It's both for Thanksgiving and always ham for Christmas for us.
That being said, I was listening to some stuff today and doing some reading. Like, I might break that tradition, like with my children. It's like there was a thing that they don't think there was any turkey at the first Thanksgiving at all.
Really?
Yeah, just venison was like probably the main course. Is what they said. Was probably the actual.
It could have been wild turkey, right?
Yeah, but they don't think there was.
Okay.
Right.
Just from like I don't know what they went back through and tried to.
Information they had.
Yeah, they don't think there was a turkey there.
Venison would be great.
Yeah, like if you wanted
back straps and loins and some canned deer meat.
You can't beat it.
Oh man, yeah. My poor mom. I'll tell this before we get going. My poor mom. She, so my parents are divorced, and she was with her new husband, and it was going to be like our first Thanksgiving. And she called me, and she's like, "Hey, here's the menu this year, just because Thanksgiving's my favorite. She knows it. I like it better than Christmas. I like it. I don't know why. I think it's just like football and all this food. Thanksgiving's my favorite, and I hate, by the way, that we go right from Halloween. Everyone runs right to Christmas.
Well, there's not the responsibility of Thanksgiving too. Mad. It's just getting together and having a meal with your family.
True. Yeah,
that's like right. At the end of the day, that's what you're celebrating.
But like you go everywhere, it's like November 3rd, and there's like Christmas trees up, and it's like, can we just wait till like what? Why can't we do this on the 29th? The day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
But anyway, my mom, she calls me and she's giving me the whole list. And I'm like, oh, it all sounds great. I'm like, you didn't say turkey. She's like, well, Kurt's not a big turkey fan. And I was like, well.
Divorce him now!
So the poor lady, I said, well, I'll just go to Mona's then. That's my mother-in-law. I was like,
well, let's go to
Chad. I told her, I was like,
Chad.
Leverage. I did.
Oh, man.
Listen, let me go back. Thanksgiving is my favorite. We're not doing it without turkey, buddy. Would I have actually done that? Probably not.
I appreciate
Guess what? There was turkey. And every year there's turkey and ham since then.
Yeah. Turkey and tears.
You leveraged that relationship, man. I tell you.
I would not have done it. It was definitely half joking. But she just knew. She knew. Right. She was like, all right.
He really wants turkey.
He really wants turkey, yeah. So we get turkey. And ham.
I'm hungry, guys.
Yeah, starving.
Let's get this going.
Do you want to get into some games here?
Yeah.
All right. Let's start.
All this talk about all this food is going to make that Hot Pocket I'm going to eat later. Really, really good, but
I'll put some gravy on it.
Yeah.
All right, 4:00 games. Here we go. Let's start with the Broncos at the Raiders. So the Raiders allow a lot of fantasy points to quarterbacks. Big Bo next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a smash start. Top 10 rest of the season. He is currently 7th.
Wow, he's currently 7th. Yeah, I'll go top 10 rest of the season.
I will agree. Any interest this week outside of Cortland Sutton in this matchup?
No, and it sucks because somebody's gonna hit.
So I'm kind of with you a little on Vele.
Yeah, if it's got to be anybody, it's him. But I'm gonna say no, just because I think somebody's gonna hit. But I don't want to go out on a limb and say I think it's gonna be Vele in this game because I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. We'll talk about him soon enough.
Yeah.
All right. How about the Denver running backs? Amazing matchup. You going to keep Williams in the flex this week?
No.
I don't want to, but 6 buys, I'll flex them.
Yeah.
I'll flex them. But, I mean, on a clean, nobody, I'm not losing anyone this week. No buys, no injury or nothing. I really would prefer to not deal with this Denver backfield. I'll flex them this week.
Okay.
And Sutton too. Wide receiver 2 this week.
Yeah,
pretty well every week.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. That's it for the Broncos. Other than Bowers, who I do think gets a little downgrade this week. I mean, don't expect 31 points here. Do you even want to consider a single Raider against the Broncos defense?
Jacoby Myers is a flex spot.
Yeah.
Consider.
I would hate to this week, but again, it's 6 buys, man.
Yeah.
We're going to be saying that a lot, I fear. Yeah, I will. I think he. How did that go? Last time they played Denver, he had 13 PPR points. And he didn't see a whole lot of Surtain either, and that touchdown was not with Surtain on him either.
Yeah, he's probably seeing more Surtain this time because Adams was there. Well, was Adams healthy for that game? Did they?
I don't. Back that way. It's quite a while ago. I don't know. He missed a lot of games. I doubt it. I'd bet no. And that was on the road, so this is a home.
Okay.
And he did score 17 PPR points against the Chiefs defense. So
yeah, give me Jacoby Myers.
Do worse with 6 buys.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. Smash start. Avoiding the running backs, right?
For sure.
None. Zero interest. Smash start the Broncos D.
Yeah,
for sure. That's it for that one. This is going to be a little bit of a quicker show, I think. Let's move on to the Cardinals at the Seahawks. So, do you expect some growth this week with Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. coming off the bye with the way that they went into the bye? The beating on the Jets 31-6.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Yeah, I'd like to say yeah.
Seahawks give up about 24 points a game.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean into Kyler and Harrison a little bit here.
Yeah.
Again, they went into the bye hot. Seattle's defense.
I guess you're hoping that momentum keeps going.
Yeah. Average defense in Seattle. I think it both get you what you need this week. I don't. How about Michael Wilson? We're fading that. It's not.
Yeah, it's not consistent enough.
For Wilson to walk away from that Jets game with 5 PPR points, that's really discouraging.
Right. Your team, if an offense is scoring over 30 and you're coming away with 5 fantasy points, that's not a good sign.
He's the receiver too. He's not the second option. It's McBride.
No,
actually, McBride's the first option. Harrison's the second option.
Yeah, and then probably guys in the backfield are coming before Connor. Wilson. Yeah.
I'm fading him. It was a good run for a bit, but I think I'm just moving on. Rest of the season, moving on. Smash start Trey McBride and James Conner. It's not even a consideration to do. Smash start every week. You don't even
keep them going.
Yeah. Seahawks, 21st against running backs. So as far as James Conner goes, I expect James Conner things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he gets in the end zone this week.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Seahawks are middle of the pack against tight ends, but that doesn't matter. They could be top 3, and I wouldn't care. McBride is awesome.
Yep.
Don't even think about it. Don't bat an eye. Geno. The man doesn't throw touchdowns. He doesn't throw touchdowns. I want to avoid him moving forward. There are just way more options. Give me Drake May. There's just a lot of other options I'd prefer.
Yeah.
He just doesn't throw touchdowns, man. He just doesn't. Where are you at? He's like leaving spot start territory for other guys.
Yeah, it's, depending on your league, if he's the best guy in your waivers, you could do worse, but this is the only week. These heavy bye weeks are really the only time that Geno's even going to be in the conversation, if that makes sense at all. So,
yep, I totally agree. All right. Rank the Seahawks receivers this week, Tyler.
Okay.
Go ahead.
JSN, Metcalf, Lockett.
Same. I think the JSN, I think he's the best overall receiver on the team.
Yeah, at this point.
He's certainly the most versatile. I'm going to stick with this trend with or without DK on the field and give me JSN rest of season while we're at it. Said breakout this year. I got to stick to my guns. I believe it's here, and I'm going to ride this thing all the way to the end. Do you think that's truthful? Right?
Yeah. Felt like he's been right on the edge for a lot this year. Hopefully this is where it just starts to be a continuous thing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
There were some good weeks up to this point, but
yeah, spotty a little bit, but now it seems like it's getting more.
Yeah. what do we say about Ken Walker? I mean,
Start him. Dude's awesome.
He's Arizona's 25th against the running back position. And again, it doesn't matter. He's an every week RB1. This has bounce back written all over it.
You feel like good
bit
week.
Of a down week last week. Any DST here at all?
I want to avoid this game if I can.
Yeah, I think I want to as well. No DSTs for me. All right, let's move on to the 49ers at the Packers. Purdy is out with a shoulder injury this week. Are you fine with Jordan Love this week against the 49ers?
Yeah.
In Green Bay? I kind of like to go elsewhere, but again, that's awful tough to do right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any, in most leagues, I don't think you're going to get somebody off of waivers better than Jordan Love. So that's why I say because
it's like you're not going to roll the dice with Anthony Richardson if you have Jordan Love. Like, what? Right?
Yeah, that one's a little iffy, but I mean.
Drake May against Miami?
Yeah, probably still go Jordan Love.
Okay. Let me double check something, make sure I didn't ruin the end of our show.
Probably.
Yep, I just did.
Oh,
That's
good.
all right. We'll skip that.
We'll come back.
Maybe we'll just talk about it a little more. How's that?
Yeah.
Niners defense is tough across the board. So they're especially tough against tight ends. Fading Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
Where are we at on this Green Bay receivers thing this week?
Who the hell knows?
I kind of only want to start Reed. To me, this is the kind of defense where you need the Swiss Army knife, do it all kind of guy. Keeps the Niners guessing. That defense is really tough. Meaning we know what Watson does. We know what Dobbs does. It's anyone's guess as far as, Reed. It's even, same with the 49ers. It's anyone's guess. You don't know how Reed's going to be utilized.
No.
So give me Reed. I'm so tired. It's every week. Rest of season. I'm just going to take Reed, man. For
the rest of the season, I'm going to go Watson.
Okay. All right. He looks good.
I think if he could stay healthy, I really think him and Jordan Love could get something.
Flip-flopping.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the season.
We are for sure. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, give me Reed. Just keeping things sneaky and tricky, and they're trying to guess on the other side, and how are they using Reed? So one guy you just.
I'll keep it elementary with Watson.
All right, you're starting Jacobs on volume alone. I don't love it, but you have to. This is a reminder to add Emmanuel Wilson on your bench if you've got someone you can cut. I would very highly recommend. This is a public
service announcement.
Yes. But yeah, add Emmanuel Wilson if you've got Jacobs. Sure it up.
For sure.
So as we said, Purdy is out. Who's in? Josh Dobbs?
Yeah.
Brandon Allen?
Yeah.
It's supposedly not definitely Dobbs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you just saying this to get Lemonski to drop him in that list?
No, but I want it to be the Pastronaut.
Yeah, for sure. Get some Josh Dobbs in 2024,
he
right?
would make me feel better.
Yeah.
Are you still okay with the pass catchers this week? Kittle's back and healthy.
If Josh Dobbs is playing, I feel okay.
Yeah, I think I do too. Kittle's like an obvious start regardless, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not think, I know. How about Debo versus Juwan Jennings this week?
Juwan Jennings.
I'm leading Jennings. But I also want to add, I'm still out, I will still buy low on Debo. The guy's too good. He's too talented.
Yeah.
A lot are down on him. You can get him for more than a fair price as far as I'm concerned. I like his rest of season schedule overall. So yeah, if you can get Debo cheap, I would recommend it. He's just too talented to cast aside fantasy wise rest of season. And again, a lot of folks are for sure.
Yeah.
So I think he's someone you can get for a lot less than what you would imagine, especially several weeks ago.
I like it.
CMC has played only 2 games. He's yet to top 15 PPR points. But again, 2 games. Vintage CMC game this week.
Yeah, I think he did. Well, I'll bet he tops 20. How's that?
The Purdy thing helps?
No.
Purdy not being there doesn't help CMC this week.
Maybe for more opportunities, but overall,
right. That's what I mean.
No.
Do you think he sees a little?
No,
more?
I think it's more that he's just getting back into the game flow. But I think he's better with Purdy there, just because
That's true.
You can't key on him as much maybe as you can with whoever it may be playing in there. I feel like Purdy keeps the offense more opened up, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, maybe a little more opportunity, but not quite as smooth without Purdy. Because again,
if it does help, I'd say it's in the short passing game, right?
Yeah,
like a backup quarterback, maybe
that would
off.
almost give a little boost.
Sure,
if he
for
adds
sure.
a few more receptions. We'll see. You're starting him anyway. And Green Bay is middle of the pack against the running back position. Start Niners D or not this week?
I say if Josh Dobbs isn't the quarterback, I'd maybe start the Packers.
Yeah,
that's
a good point. Okay, if you had to pick one of the two, it's the Packers over the Niners? Yeah, Packers over Niners at home. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to Sunday Night Football already.
Weather hasn't been good. Some lake effect stuff going on.
The Eagles at the Rams. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Oh, boy.
I think Philly has one of the best defensive backfields in the league at the moment. They're locking up great receiver after great receiver after great receiver. Quinyon Mitchell's been great. Cooper DeJean's been great. Slay's holding his own way more than I thought. Reed Blankenship playing great. So but that doesn't give you any concern for Kupp or Nakua, right?
I was just going to say, I agree to a certain extent, but this is a different breed of wide receiver combo that's coming in here right now. That's my only, I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup.
Yeah.
Those wide receivers with Stafford going against this Philly secondary.
Traveling all the way to the West Coast.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a little concern just because when I look at some of the receivers, it's like, damn, like they really, like Jamar Chase is in there.
Yeah.
There's a handful. It's like, man, you guys really, Terry McLaurin, there's just guys that they completely just eliminated from the game, but you can't avoid these guys, and I'm not going to.
Even from those things that you just said, though, this is still different.
It's still different. Because
Jamar Chase didn't have T. Higgins for that game.
You're correct.
So now you have 2 1s with a quarterback like Stafford
and a running back like
who has seen what you were going to throw at him. I'm not saying that they can't give him fits, but this is actually going to be a better game than I think people.
This is a real test too. It's like, all right, let's see how good this defense really is.
I know we talked about the AFC dark horse. I think the Rams are right there on that.
They're sneaky.
You don't really want them to be your wild card matchup heading into if they end up in that place. You know what I mean? Like they're a tough team to play for a 5-6 team, 5-5 team.
I don't want the Eagles running into the Rams in the playoffs.
No, I don't think anybody wants to really.
No. So like I said, like I have a little concern, but like nowhere near enough to make me go, no way. Like you can't start these guys.
Oh, you're still starting Puka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Puka and Kupp both. You can't avoid them. I'm not gonna. And this is like you got to lean into and trust the talent. Period. You can't. You just.
If
can't.
One of them guys gets shut down, then you say touche.
Right. So so I think they both get double-digit PPR points. I think we could be looking at something between like the 13 and 17 PPR point type range. I wouldn't be surprised if like what you were saying, if one of Kupp or Nakua do great and the other gets faded a little more.
Who is it?
I don't know. I really don't know. I would say whoever Quinyon Mitchell's dealing with the most will have less fantasy points than the other receiver. I don't really know. I'm not sure.
It's tough because of how much both these guys are versatile too and can be moved around throughout the offense.
This is a tough one, like real life wise. It's like, man, how's this one going to go? But you're starting both of them.
Yep.
Like it won't surprise me if one scores 18 and the other scores 22. Like that won't surprise me either. I also won't be surprised if one scores 12 and the other one scores 19.
Right.
So, but again, that they're still both starts, even with those numbers. Kyron Williams hasn't scored more than 11 PPR points over the past 3 games. Philly is 4th against the running back position. Do have a little concern, but again, you can't avoid Kyron Williams.
No, you're right to have the concern. Temper your expectations this week.
Yep.
If he gets in the end zone, all those games are good games, but he didn't.
Right. Yeah. So that's yes. You just trust the talent. You kind of hope for what we hoped with James Cook last week.
Yeah.
Right. We need Kyron to get in the end zone. And also just a point to add, those last 3 games, as you said, 0 touchdowns.
Right.
So he does kind of need him. But they're the only games. Yeah, I looked at this. They're the only games this year that he has not scored a touchdown either on the ground or through the air. And those PPR point totals were 9, 11, and 8.
Yeah.
But you add a touchdown to any of those and you're happy.
Right.
So, yeah, start the guy. Don't be that concerned.
15, 17, 14.
Yep. As far as the Eagles go, you're starting Hurts. The Rams allow over 225 yards per game in the air. And again, he gets it done in more ways than one. So I don't really have any concerns at all. Do you have any concerns?
I don't know.
Should I have some?
I'm just concerned about a certain DMV worker.
Oh, that's DMV. I think he was referring to. No.
Department of Motor Vehicles. That's all I got. I got nothing.
Delaware, Maryland, Virginia.
Maybe. Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Gotcha.
Yep, I think that's more what it was.
He plays in Pennsylvania, so he should be more careful with that stuff. But
I think that's what it was because that's like Commander's territory.
Gotcha.
I do believe that that's what that was. I was because I remember thinking about that. It's like DMV, like
what?
Dude,
I don't
you get that rocked. Like you just like so out there. I don't know, the sunglasses inside, like all of it. I'm like, Jalen, what do you?
His head hurt. I'm not saying he was concussed. I won't come out and say that, but his head was sore.
But like I got thinking about it, like I couldn't find anywhere on the internet where anyone was like, Hurt said DMV. Like that doesn't even like nobody was saying that.
Dude, I was watching the after game. Like, what happened?
Me too. And then I got thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a second. I think Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Like, is that a Washington Commanders? Like, yeah, you're a DMV.
It's in the area. Yeah.
I don't know why you'd say that. Though. I don't understand. I don't know. He could have just said, like, I hear you're a Commanders guy or something. Right. Like, I hear you're a Washington fan. Anything. The Rams. So wait, no concern? Like, you're good with Hurts?
Yeah, I'll start Hurts.
No concern. Well, we're going to start him, but like, you're not tempering or anything. Like, he should be fine. The Rams are 21st against the receiver position. You can cook the Rams defense here. It's a big AJ Brown game, or
yep.
Yeah, and no Devonta Smith.
Right.
So, how about Dallas Goedert?
Nick says yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a great start with either Brown or Smith off the field. No Smith. Smash start Goedert for me. They're 24th against the tight end position too. The Rams are. So
yeah, you like that matchup, right?
Cherry on top.
Yeah.
The Rams have gotten much tougher against the run. I believe they're 12th now against the running back position. But who cares? It's Saquon. Also, the Rams have only allowed 7 scores on the ground, but they've allowed around 124 yards per game to running backs. And again, who cares? It's Saquon.
Have you watched Saquon this year? I don't care if the 2000 Ravens defense comes out there and plays. I'm starting him.
Yeah. Yep. Smash start every week. Start the Eagles defense?
If you have to. Don't drop them to...
No.
But if you have another option...
Especially if like you're looking at it and it's like, I'm making the playoffs.
I think it's a middle-of-the-road defensive play this week. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I think it's right there in the mix of it.
I'd agree with that. This is going to be a good test. We'll know a lot more after this.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good game, actually.
Me too.
Genuinely be a good game.
Nice primetime game here. All right, let's move on to Monday Night Football. It's our last one already. The Ravens at the Chargers. As far as the Ravens, starting Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers. Do you have any concern at all for lackluster games from any of those three? The Chargers are 12th against quarterbacks, 3rd against running backs, and 19th against receivers.
If I do have concern, I'd say it's not for Jackson at all.
Flowers,
yeah.
Agreed. But I don't see how you can sit any of them. Yeah, I think you could maybe make an argument for Zay Flowers, I guess. But I don't see, like, with 6 buys, how would that even be a semi-good move?
Right.
I don't see how you even could or would even want to. Zay he's a playmaker, man. I know been a little the last couple of weeks, but I'm continuing to start him every single week.
Yeah.
He's right there with like JSN for me. Like, I'm not giving up on this. Like, it's there. Now JSN's making you feel a little better about it, but I can't bench Zay Flowers, man.
No.
Can't do it. Mark Andrews or Will Disley?
Give me Mark Andrews.
Give me Disley. Give me Disley easily, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Disley is first in target rate, 39.7%. Fourth in catchable target rate, 89.6%. First in yards per route run with 2.9. Fourth in drops with only 3. He is second in fantasy points per route run with 0.65. And on top of all that, the Ravens are 24th against tight ends. Rest of season, I am all in on Will Disley. If I've been doing this like the revolving door tight end thing, stop. I think you found your guy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I will. It's tough though, just because a lot of those same numbers were very similar to the numbers we were talking about Tucker Kraft a couple weeks ago, and that has fallen off a cliff. I don't think this is gonna.
I disagree because I think the targets are there for Disley to where not so much for Kraft.
You're saying it was just, but I mean, like as far as a lot of those numbers, like maybe not the target ones, but I mean, like
he's seeing
efficiency, I guess maybe with more of the Kraft. Gotcha.
Yeah. Kraft
efficiency.
was unbelievably efficient,
right,
like, for such minimal work. But like he's Fields' first read on several plays. Like there's plays that are drawn up for him, and they're like going right after the seam with him constantly. Like it's almost like I don't. It's like they just stepped back and looked and was just like, we need somebody else to catch the ball, man.
Yeah.
Like this, because Quentin Johnson, like you might give him 8 targets, but he catches 2. It's like this guy, when Quentin Johnson scores touchdowns, he's wide freaking open.
Right.
It's like a broken player. So like how he can't be that wide open that all the time.
Play action, no baby.
Yeah. I really do believe though, like with that said, like the run heavy scheme, the banking off the play action. I just think they found something in Disley that we saw flashes of in Seattle. And I always wondered, like, what happened to that Disley dude? Like he had honest flashes, like real fantasy starting tight end. And then he just disappeared for a couple years.
I thought for sure it was going to be Hurst.
Me too. And I just think
beginning of the season, I thought Hurst was going to be the main tight end for the Chargers.
Some of the catches that Disley's making, it's like, you want this job, dude.
For sure.
For sure. So I don't think it's much like Kraft at all, just because Kraft had the efficiency thing, but not the opportunity at all.
Right.
Like there's no way Tucker Kraft is a first look for Herbert or for Jordan Love. Very rarely is he like the first look. And Disley is quite often. So yeah, give me again Will Disley. Rest of the season, if you were playing the revolving door approach at tight end, I really think if you picked him up at some point, I think you can stop the revolving door.
Just play some Will Disley.
I think so.
Yeah.
First read is a lot for me too. Like you're looking right at him. Like you're coming, right off the snap, ball in your hand, you finish your drop back, and your eyes go straight to Disley first. To me, that speaks quiet volume, like unnoticed stuff. Starting Herbert this week?
Yeah.
I will. I like Herbert a lot rest of season. Just feel like things are coming together here in LA. Don't you?
Yeah. I don't know how high I am on him rest of the season without seeing the schedule. He's definitely had an uptick, but worry about that a little bit. Still being such a run heavy team.
So just to play advocate here on the run heavy team, I agree. To a point, since week 6, all the way to 11, 34 pass attempts, 39, 32, 27, 18 against Tennessee, but you run against Tennessee. And obviously the Chargers are going to be like, oh, a team we can run on, we're going to run.
Right.
And 36 pass attempts against Cincinnati in week 11. The rushing yards, the last 4 weeks, 49, 2, 32, 65. And some of those are designed. That touchdown run that he had against Tennessee was a designed run.
Well, like what's the schedule for the rest of the year?
Let's see. Rest of season. Obviously Baltimore, Atlanta, Kansas City, week 13 and 14. Then Tampa, Denver, New England. I'm all right with Baltimore. I'm all right with Atlanta. And I don't love Kansas City at all. Tampa, I'm all right with that. Denver, I don't love, and New England.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stick to where I'm at. Like,
Okay.
I like him for this week, but not crazy about him rest of the season.
He's one that I would say I kind of feel you were doing the revolving door at quarterback. I feel kind of the same way I do Disley. It's like, I think you're all right for the most part for the rest of the year, but maybe have someone on the bench, look at the schedule, look when he plays Denver, look if you need a little boost in week 14 when he plays Kansas City, like maybe have somebody on your roster that week 14 and week 16 looks pretty good schedule wise.
Yeah.
I don't know what
But I think like the Chiefs game, the Broncos game, I think that could be tough. Buccaneers game seems good. Patriots, you feel like they're going to run all over them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That could be. His last 4 games is 25, 21, 20, and 25 fantasy points. That's for 5 point per passing touchdown league.
Yeah.
But before that, it was
nothing wrong with those
13,
numbers.
14, 12, 10, 12, 10. But they were running the snot out of the ball. And the passing attempts are way down from when I went from week 6 on when things started.
Is that after a bye?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Fair enough.
It is. But after the bye, it was 14 and 13 PPR or fantasy points. Then the last 4 weeks.
But the passing attempts went up after the bye.
Yes, 34 and 39.
Okay.
And like Quentin Johnson wasn't there for a couple of them games there. He's been banged up, kind of in and out.
I'm going to stick with it, though. I'm going to stick Chiefs.
Sure.
I just don't.
I know. I get it. I would just say, just on my side, it's not like all schedule. It's a little bit of it. But there's just a gelling thing. Everybody's healthy. They found this new thing in Disley. Like, it feels good.
Okay.
But
they're winning. That helps.
Sure. But again, I'm not saying just roll with Herbert rest of the season. You don't even need a second quarterback. But I think you could do quite well with Herbert in some of these weeks coming up. What's the concern? Oh, wait, let's go to receivers. I almost ran right to running back. How about the receivers? Vlad McConkey is questionable, so monitor it. But assuming he plays, he is a what this week?
Wide receiver 2.
Yeah. Wide receiver 2. I was going to say low end, but I think just wide receiver 2.
Just go on.
Quentin Johnson?
Low end flex.
Yeah, he kind of has to score a touchdown. Because it could certainly be 3 catches for 38 yards.
Yeah, or really 1 catch for 11 yards. I mean,
it could be 4 catches on 8 targets for 60 yards and a touchdown.
Right. And
it's tough to tell. Like, is there going to be a broken play?
Yeah.
Because he'll score. Concern level for Dobbins in a revenge game this week against the terrifying Ravens run defense. They are 9th currently against running backs.
I'm a sucker for a revenge game, but I'd start Dobbins all the way.
You going to start Dobbins?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for these revenge games, though. But yeah, give me Dobbins this week.
Okay. Yeah. This is hard for me. Just because I ran my head so much about J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, he's an RB2.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an RB2. All right. That's it for the games. Do you have anything else? Oh, any defenses here? Chargers, Ravens?
No,
I don't think so either. All right, that's it for the games. Let's move on to Tyler's Week 12 DFS.
All right, so starting us out, we got Bo Nix against the Las Vegas Raiders for 6,300.
Love it.
For my first running back for 6,000, Tyrone Tracy Jr. For 5,600, little discount, Austin Eckler going against Dallas. Talked about him a lot today. Wide receiver, Jackson Smith and Jigba, 6,300. For 6,200, going against the 29th ranked Detroit Lions, Josh Downs.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Going with Juwan Jennings again for 5,600 against Green Bay. 4,100 for Jonnu Smith.
Hey.
Got James Conner for 6,500 going against Seattle, and then the Broncos defense for 3,200 going against Las Vegas.
I love it. That's great DFS, man. I'm a big fan.
Last week's DFS was not good.
Yeah.
It was our first week we did not do good.
It's your first miss.
Yep.
No big deal.
Happens, man.
I probably blew it for you. Didn't I?
I don't think it would have mattered.
No? Okay.
No. The Russell Wilson thing was bad.
That hurts. All right, let's move on to sneaky start of the week. I'll start. Mine is Devon Vele at the Raiders. Listen, I just think that this Raiders team is just absolutely horrible. Bo Nix throws the hell out of the football. He throws it a lot. He gives his receivers a lot of opportunity. Devon Vele you can see him kind of growing in the offense. Sean Payton wants him to work. 5 targets last week. I do not see, and I believe he had 4 catches, 66 yards. So like 10 PPR points. He's had 13 and 10 PPR points in both against Kansas City and Atlanta in week 10 and 11. I think he can get you somewhere between 10 and 13 PPR points here against the Raiders. I don't think that's a reach at all. So you give this kid 5-6 targets. Give me some Devon Vele this week.
I like it. Oh, my sneaky start of the week is going to be... I don't like this one. But I'll go Odell Beckham Jr. on a touchdown against New England.
6 teams on bye.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's just that he had like an uptick in targets last week. Sure. And you're not starting him any week, but this week, just they took a couple shots at him last week, like down in the red zone. Think he gets that touchdown this week, and that solidifies like a sneaky start, gets you that 10, 11 points if he gets a touchdown with it.
Man, if he gets 10, 11 points, Ty, I am driving to your house high-fiving you because that would be an insane call. I hope that pans out. That would be awesome.
If you're going to swing.
Yeah, a lot of buys. My brother's team in your redraft league, Ty. Have you seen that?
No.
He needs Odell Beckham this week.
Oh,
dude, it's it's 80% of his roster is either on IR or on bye.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's really bad. I have no idea how he plans to win this week. He's not gonna. Poor guy. All right, let's move on to my favorite segment. Would you rather? Tyler, quarterback. Would you rather CJ Stroud versus the Titans or Matt Stafford versus the Eagles?
Hey, Stafford.
Give me Stafford. Would you rather Jordan Love versus the 49ers or Drake May at the Dolphins? I told you we'd talk about this one.
Drake May.
I will also take Drake May. Running back. Would you rather Chuba Hubbard versus the Chiefs or J.K. Dobbins at the Ravens?
J.K. Dobbins.
The revenge game.
Yep.
Give me Dobbins. Would you rather Ramondre Stevenson at the Dolphins or Aaron Jones at the Bears?
Aaron Jones.
Give me Stevenson.
Okay.
Just, I feel like crazy volume. I think he scores a touchdown against his defense this week. Would you rather Austin Eckler versus the Cowboys or Javonte Williams at the Raiders?
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler all day. Mm-hmm. I really think it's not that they lack a number 2 receiving option because it's like McLaurin and Ertz. I think last week when Washington played Philadelphia, I think they kind of unlocked something there. Like, why aren't we throwing to... I mean, I know you struggle to run against Philadelphia. Why would they stop throwing to Eckler like that?
Right.
I just feel like they unlocked a little piece to their offense there. It's like, hey, let's do this more.
Right.
Because that was really effective.
For sure.
And I mean, it's Austin Eckler. Like, why wouldn't you? I kind of been wondering that. Like,
he's still really good in space.
Yeah, man. I don't know if they're probably not going to get, 8 for 85 receptions last week?
No, but I mean, you get half that, you're doing pretty good. That's 8 points.
Yeah, give me some Eckler. Cowboys are terrible on defense. They're terrible all the way around. Let's move on to receivers. Would you rather Josh Downs versus the Lions or Calvin Ridley at the Texans?
Josh Downs versus the Lions.
Give me Josh Downs. You know it.
That's a tough one, though.
It is tougher. That's a tougher one. Would you rather DJ Moore versus the Vikings or Quentin Johnston versus the Ravens?
This is where DJ Moore's at now. Give me DJ Moore.
Give me Quentin Johnston.
Ah!
On one ball. Would you rather Tank Dell versus the Titans or Jordan Addison at the Bears?
Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, that Bears defense pushes me away. Also, I don't know. I think L'Jarius Sneed is going to miss again. I think. Should I check that before I just say that? That's not how you spell it. We are. He is out.
Okay.
Would you rather Will Disley versus the Ravens or Jonnu Smith versus the Patriots?
Man, I'm going to ride the wave here. I think they both have a good game. I'm going to go Jonnu Smith.
I'll take Will Disley. I pounded the table. I can't not.
Yeah,
what am I supposed to do?
Well, and I just literally rest of the season. I would definitely say Will Disley. I think for this game, I don't know. I'll ride the hot hand of Jonnu Smith. I think he has. I'll guess that he has the better game.
Fair enough. This one's tough. Last one. Would you rather Hunter Henry at the Dolphins or Sam Laporta at the Colts?
Sam Laporta.
Give me Hunter Henry. He's 9th.
Yeah. I did see that the other day.
Yeah, he sees a lot of targets. So, yeah, give me Hunter Henry. Any final thoughts?
I hope Sam Laporta gets better.
Jameson Williams, that suspension last year. Obviously, Sam Laporta is good. I'm not saying he's not, but there was no Jameson Williams for the first 6 weeks, and then they had to kind of get him reacclimated for a few weeks. I wonder if that really played. I mean, it had to have played a huge part in Sam Laporta's success last year. The volume is just not there.
No, it's not.
It's not there at all. So
Detroit is just beating the snot out of some teams, though, too. Not. They don't need to throw it a certain way. They don't really have to throw ever.
No, they just run every play. Run every play. My final thoughts. We're getting close. We're getting really close to playoffs. If you're in, go get your handcuffs. You've waited long enough. Go get a handcuff or two for your RB1, RB2. Make the little trades. Go find the defenses. I highly recommend going and picking up Tampa Bay.
If you've been streaming quarterbacks, stack up on a couple.
Yep. Get yourself.
However your team is designed, get yourself ready to roll into the playoffs with that too.
I just did that. I'm really weak at quarterback, man. And your redraft. I'm like, well, I got Anthony Richardson here. Let me go look. And I went with Drake May. I picked him over Tua. I probably shouldn't have for this week, being he's got the Raiders. Tua does, but I like a shootout this week with the Patriots and the Dolphins.
How do you feel about the Lions thing, though? I feel like that could possibly be. I feel like the Lions handle that game. I feel like that could still be a big day for Anthony Richardson.
Oh, sure. I feel the same for Richardson and May both.
Okay.
There's still some volatility with Anthony. I need to see that again. With Drake May, I've seen it enough. He just needs to he needs to knock an interception or two off of a game.
Yeah, the kid's consistent, though.
Yeah, and I just think Miami's going to put a lot of points on New England, and I just think it's just going to force Drake May to fire the ball.
Right.
So that's kind of why I went there. Great argument for Anthony Richardson. I think it's the volatility that just made me lean. It's the same argument for both. The volatility of Richardson made me lean May this week. That's all. That's it. That's all I got. What about you, Mitchell? Anything?
I wish Nick luck up there on the hill. He learned that altitude makes a difference for snow accumulation.
Yeah, 11 inches or so.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that many feet difference either.
You guys have at least a dusting here. There was nothing on the ground in Williamsport whatsoever.
He said he had 11 inches.
I'll show you a picture of where I was today. It was near Nick.
Yeah.
It was the same mountain.
Yeah.
Well, we had the rain today, but down lower. So that's just, like I said, altitude. He learned a little bit today.
Yep.
It makes a big difference.
He had a pile of snow on top of his mailbox and everything.
He's shoveling snow.
Yep. All right. That's it for today's show. Again, as always, thank you all so much for tuning in and giving us your support. Remember, our PPR Superflex Dynasty rankings are now available in the description. Just click the corresponding link, and they are available as well on our Twitter. Also, check the description for instructions on how to get your trades graded. There will not be a reaction show on Tuesday, so we will see you again on Thursday with our Week 13 previews. Remember to follow, and subscribe to our Spotify, Twitter, and YouTube. It's the only way we survive. Go get a dub this weekend. See you next time, everybody.